Welcome to the What's the Genre Showdown. I'm Coco Bar.
And I'm Rusty Wilkins. I am the creator of this crazy competition, and trust me, folks, you're in for a wild ride.
We've all heard it before. What's a genre? Does this song fit to a genre? Is genre even a thing?
Well, we're putting that question to the test. We're going to do it with 32 artists, unpredictable matchups, and at the end, only 2 WAG champs.
So here's how it works. Every round, contestants are paired up at random and have 7 days to create something together. And then for the next 7 days, it's time for judging. Our panel of judges scores a song based on 5 criteria: creativity, originality, genre commitment, collaboration, emotional impact, and technical skill.
Now this includes special bonus points for the number of likes. Okay, only to the highest scoring duo will move on to the next round. And just when you think you figured it all out, boom, new round, new partner, new challenge.
That's right. That means contestants need to be quick, creative, and ready to adapt to any genre we throw their way. And for those of you watching, your votes can help decide the winner.
So now whether you're competing, cheering on your face, or just here for this genre chaos that we're bringing to you, you need to buckle up now, because the WAG, the What's a Genre Showdown, starts now.
Will these artists rise to the challenge?
Let's find out. Don't be scared. It's just WAG, baby.
Hello, welcome to the What's a Genre Showdown 2025 Summer Series, brought to you by Angified Presents She Pleads the 5th, so let's wag on, baby. This summer series is hosted by Angified and Dmane Ang, the judges, Kiwi Chris, Rollo Knox, and those silly noisers 1 and 2. As Rusty says, don't be scared, it's just the WAG, baby. So let the games begin. Oh, and hey, Angified, may the spin be forever in your wheelhouse. Good luck to you all.
Emergency, Disco emergency hotline. What kind of good fire we talking now? Hello? Yeah, man, this is Rusty Wilkins, the creator. I'm at the Velvet Accordion Strip Club, and man, it's going down. Your Dmane, the ConArtist, is throwing disco balls like grenades. Calentations just suplex a fucking tuba. And wait, hold up. There's a 2.75 subliminal message in the bass line. Oh, no. Not a 275. Sir, do you realize how dangerous that is for polka disco ecosystems? And accordions are squealing, tubas are stomping.
Well, let me ask, as a kid, what was your dream job?
I wanted to be a police officer, but as I got older and it's like the shoe went from one foot to the other foot, started becoming this bad guy, giving out this bad guy persona, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stay away from the cops now.
And play music ever since I was 3. My mom's ex-husband at the time, well, husband at the time, but ex-husband now, he came in the room one day playing the guitar, and I just couldn't take my eyes off of it. And he saw that, sat me on his lap, tried to get me to play some chords, and my fingers weren't working on it. And from that moment, I decided, yeah, when I get older and my hands big enough, I'm gonna play. And I did when I was 13.
My dream job was to be retired. Just do nothing but have free time, be great.
job as a kid? It was either be a musician, a wrestler, or a cook. I had 3 different things. I wasn't.
Let me think about that. Probably like a fireman. I think I would say the normal stuff like fireman, policeman, you know, something like that. And I don't know. And I always loved computers. I wound up in IT. I still do IT, you know, that sort of thing. But it's not as fun as like a fireman. I still think at school, my kids were in scouts. You know, they were like, it was still cool to tour the fire stations and the police stations and stuff like that.
Rode this day off, souls slowly implode like seance. The group and gather, revive McJagger and sight sick banner, and tight chicks flatter, and nice men chatter, and rhyme in pattern. Surprise to the fact by the end of the night that the light will shatter, but it don't matter.
Architect, make a house, building, decorate the city, everything.
So an architect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dream job was to be a coach in the NFL. I'm a passionate sports fan. I was born and raised in Minnesota, so we've never won a championship here, so it's always something that I'd always dreamed about, either playing in the NFL or coaching in the NFL.
On the floor, no care for the corner, the Macklemore. Just dance, yup, till you can't no more. And the way her booty shaking got you panting more. Yeah, dance, shit, now you're sore. Having a seizure right on the floor, just dance.
Your dream job.
Well, a rock star, of course, for me. But I'm not sure. As a little kid, I'm not sure if I knew. But as a teenager, for sure, I was already into music.
Your dream job.
As a kid, a writer and music or a basketball player. Any of those three.
Roses grow, the seeds are sown so deep and bold, but cowardice hides beneath the soul. So demons know they're free to roam through meat and bones, deceive the throne and beat the old elitist totem. Sinking toes in muddy, tries to run, but the beast.
Probably more like comedy. I don't know. I'll think about doing stand-up maybe later in my life. I'm here. I'm here doing music. Just edit up here.
Flowers bloom, but the sky is gray till life ensues, resumes one day. The hours doomed to reduce decay, but if bruises fade, then the seed it saves. The demons break, but the creatures stay. So if leeches take what the preacher lays, then infuse their aches in the waterways, then faith is lost, it's gone away. I know, thought you had us figured out. That's just where you bear off.
What's your dream job?
I wanted to be a rock and roll.
A what?
A rock and roll drum.
Nice.
I had my high school counselor ask me what I wanted to do when I was in high school, and I told her the exact same thing, and she said, well, maybe we should have a back. Nah, that's okay. Maybe looking back on it, back of the plan was a really bad idea, but what I wanted to do.
What's your dream job?
You know, as a kid, all I wanted to do was be the president of the United States.
Ask as a kid, what was your dream job? Because it sounds like you've always wanted to be a musician.
Okay, so as a kid, this right here is something I have always thought of. I wanted to create. I've always had these like weird ideas, and it was I always went around saying that I was either going to be somebody made movies, cartoons, music, something. That's just what I wanted to do. Yeah.
Hey, it's Crystalline here, otherwise known as Kiwi Chris in BandLab. I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand. I write, teach, perform, and breathe music. I love everything from a simple folk song, one guitar, one voice with a beautiful sound and a beautiful message, right through to hardcore, punk, death metal, and everything in between, as long as it makes me want to dance, or mosh, or close my eyes and drift away, or makes me think, or makes me feel. That's what interests me in music. Have fun in this competition. Embrace who you get partnered with. Sometimes it might feel a little uncomfortable at the start, but you might surprise yourself. Do what you do best, but also be open to trying things done differently. And you might come with this magical genre combination. I've seen it done many, many times in the competition. I can't wait to be a judge on the What's a Genre Showdown.
Hello, this is Mike, Noiser version 1.0 here. I'm a drummer, and but I got really good at it, so I had to go to college, study the tip of this with Met Opera, and go on to like all this competitions in classical music and perfection, right? Well, that was a lot of fun. Then I turned 19, and I gave it all up to get into a band with Noiser version 2.0. We've been together since high school, giving each other a hard time, trying to make some music, trying to find a theme, a hook, our life for a hook. Anyway, I teach mathematics and computer science to keep the wolves away, and try to have a moderate life, try to have some music, some money, some life, some love, some laughter, and yeah. That's me in a shell of a nut, as I am. Cheerio.
Hello, this is Ian, Noiser 2.0 here. I'm the other half of the Noiser duality, playing bass, guitar, and keyboards. I was a composition major at Berklee School of Music until I quit to play in the Boston rock scene. Next came studio work in all genres, to include a stint in New York City with an A&M recording artist. I'm pleased to be chosen as a judge here, and I've also been a contestant myself, having competed 3 times in the International Blues Challenge down on Beale Street. Mike and I have been writing songs for years, and I joined BandLab about 5 years ago. I do most of my recordings in Logic Pro, and I'm learning a great deal about music software and related sound libraries. Thank you, Angie, for this opportunity.
There is only one judge in the WAG contest who misunderstood the assignment completely and thought he was supposed to be a real judge. That man's name is Judge. Coming soon to the WAG contest, only on the Angified.
Seconds are forever. It's a dance with the breeze, where fear meets the fury, and your peace finds release. He's got a girl back home.
everyone. Welcome to the Message on the Showdown. I'm Coco Bar.
And I'm Rusty Wilkins. I am the creator of this crazy competition, and trust me, folks, you're in for a wild ride.
We've all heard it before. What's a genre? Does this song fit to a genre? Is genre even a thing?
Well, we're putting that question to the test. We're going to do it with 32 artists, unpredictable matchups, and at the end, only 2 wet champs.
So here's how it works. Every round, contestants are paired up at random and have 7 days to create something together. And then for the next 7 days, it's time for judging. Our panel judges scores a song based on 5 criteria: originality, genre commitment, collaboration, emotional impact, and technical skill.
Now this includes special bonus points for the number of likes. Okay, only to the highest scoring duo will move on to the next round. And just when you think you're figuring it all out, boom, new round, new partner, new challenge.
That's right. That means contestants need to be quick, creative, and ready to adapt to any genre we throw their way. And for those of you watching, your votes can help decide the winner.
So now whether you're competing, cheering on your face, or just here for this chaos that we're bringing to you, you need to buckle up now, because the WAG Genre Showdown starts now.
Will these artists rise to the challenge?
Let's find out. Don't be scared. It's just WAG, baby.
Has this season been fire or what? Yes, this has been the 10th anniversary right here, right now of the WAG Summer Series. Yes, you got questions about the WAG? Well, go ahead, watch out, because the winter season should be announced real soon. If you like this season, jump your chance to get them then. Rusty, give a big shout out, Mr. RW. He is the creator of the What's a Genre Showdown. What's the WAG? This is the WAG.
Welcome to the WAG.
This flame, bending the genres like wires in my brain. Welcome to the gauntlet, it's do or die, where metal screams me lullabies. I built this circus with sparks and sound, where angels rage and beasts break down. So come on in and take your shot, but this is my stage and I'm too hot to stop. I chew on silence, I spit out cold. My voice a dragon, my heart ice cold. So if you think you've seen all of the show, you ain't heard how far I'm willing to go. I'm the creator.
I'm the Baba Yaga, the spark and the sin, the mirror that lies when you try to fit in. This is my gauntlet, so you better swing. It's not just a mic, it's a record name. Fire and glitter, razors and pearls. I'm pop, I'm metal, I'm mother world. Step in the ring, come clash with fate. But I wrote the rules and I bend the gate.
I chew on silence, I spit out cold. My voice a dragon, my heart ice cold. So if you think you've seen all of the show, you ain't heard how far I'm willing to go. I'm the creator. They said pick a lane. I built the freeway instead. lined it with fire flowers and with the Mad Hatter said, I'm not mad, I'm divine, just delightfully strange. Now every note I sing rearranges the stage. I stitched a song from pieces torn from lullabies and demon's horns. I'm not just playing, I invented the game. The game? Bow to the rhythm and remember the name. I'm the creator, I forged this flame. James.
I'm the Baba Yaga, ground and sound. From sugar to screen, I shake the ground. This is my gauntlet, my melting pot. Every genre you know, I've already fought.
I'm the creator, spark in the cinder, mirror that laughs when you try to fit in. This is the gauntlet you better swing. It's not just a mic, it's a record neck. This is the gauntlet you better swing. It's not just a mic, it's a record neck. We're the creators. Fuck a genre.
Oh yeah, this is What's a Genre Showdown. Are you guys ready? We are here tonight to present the final tracks. Oh yes, the final tracks to you. We have Glass Garden with us to go ahead and review these tracks and give you guys some feedback, some good stuff, some things to work towards in the future. And yes, he's not holding back because this is What's a Genre Showdown. Glass, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Angie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. This has been a great season, a lot of tracks, a lot of fire, a lot of excitement. And you get to go ahead and review. This is the 10th anniversary of the Was a Genre Showdown, and you get to review the final tracks in this 5th round.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's super fun. I've heard some of the tracks as you guys have been going and making stuff. A lot of creative ideas and a lot of very unusual genre blending, which I'm always a fan of. So I'm very excited to see what all of these fine creators have created this week.
Oh, yes. And they're all different genres this week, too. So we're going to get a little bit of country. We're going to get a little bit of Latin, some ska, some pop. So I hope you're ready.
I am. Let's hear it.
Okay. Is Tony in the house? And Rusty, are you in the house? All right. All right. Would you guys like to talk about the fall or fall song?
Song.
Tony, you're muted or your audio isn't on.
Oh, no, it's my headset.
Oh, there you are.
Hello.
And he is back.
Okay.
Well, me and Rusty started writing this last Thursday. He kind of came up with the concept. Well, he fell on his ass, but he got back up. Yep, yep.
That yup. You'll see. That's what gets stuck in there.
It became this subliminal hook.
So originally, this track was supposed to be Kiwi, Rusty, and Tony. And then at last minute, I hopped on here. Surprise! It's the final season of the WAG, or final season, final round of the summer season.
The WAG will never end. The WAG will never
I
end.
plead the fifth. All right, let's go ahead. Let's check this out. I'm going to open up these lyrics too, so you can read those as well, Matt.
Thank you. And
Blow
what
it up a little bit for you.
What genres are we mixing on this one?
This one's country.
Country. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Got back up. Yep. Fell again. Did. Got back up. Yep. I fell again. Sure did. I landed on my feet. Every time. Every time. Then I hit my ass. So hard. I fell hard. You fell fast. It felt like something kicked our ass. And man, it hurt. It hurts my pride. Take some time to get back up. Can't be blamed on just my love. It's a shame when wishes don't work and apologies just sound like words. And the moral of the story, I guess, is live and learn and try your best. Don't walk away with only regrets. There's a lesson when you fall with the feelings you get. It's so lonely in this bed tonight without you by my side. I'm staring at the ceiling and it's frozen time. We're caught in the fall.
Oh, I'm sorry you fell so hard. I didn't mean for it to be this way. This didn't trick you.
But you pushed me, but you pushed me, but you pushed me. I'm sorry that I fell so hard. I didn't mean to feel this way. Hey, at least I didn't trick you, baby. At least, baby.
That you treated me.
Oh, so sweet. It's so lonely in this bed tonight without you by my side. I'm staring at the ceiling in this frozen time. We're caught in the... I got back up. Yep. Then I fell again. I got back up. Yep. And then I fell again. I landed on my feet, yeah, every time. But then I hit my ass on the rock bottom ground. But an empty pillow reminds me.
unless it must. Either way, the fall is behind us. Go away.
Oh, Jesus. All right, come on. Let me take you home.
Really?
This way.
All right.
Get your microphone.
I got it. Let's go.
Come on.
You know what? You go that way.
Don't touch me there.
Don't touch me there.
I'm touched.
All right, Glass, you have the floor.
All right, so guys, the one thing that I picked up on that song in particular is because there's something that country does in particular that very few other genres do, which is lighthearted sadness, and this song nailed that. So as far as like genre commitment, like and then like the acoustic guitar, it's actually one of the funny things. Like I grew up on a lot of '90s country, so I know that the kind of vibe that you're going for. It's kind of interesting, Rusty, with what your execution on the vocal is a little bit more of that Bob Dylan style. And so that which worked especially for the storytelling style, which a lot of country does. All those things totally worked. So here, like I said, I promise that I give you guys actual feedback that's actionable and helpful. So here's some things. When you're doing vocal stacks with a lot of vocal parts, you have to be really very particular about hitting all of the consonants, that stuff together. That would be one thing that would help improve this track. Now, obviously, you guys don't have an enormous amount of time with only a 2-week turnaround, so I'm definitely not gonna hate you too much on that for that one, because that's something that comes with time and practice on that exact part and that exact lyric. Now, the track totally works, like I said. One thing that I was missing that I would have loved to have heard a little bit more, and I think Tony, you're kind of more running with the track side of things, is we need a kind of what I was feeling is that we kind of had two different dynamic levels. It's like we've got that hook, that chorus feel, like where it jumps up a little bit, and then the verses or the bridge in particular kind of sits down. I was looking for a third, and I think that the song could definitely take it where maybe something, and it's a very typical country move where you do a single strum of an electric guitar, like ring on the chords. So on the whole notes of that would give it a nice little lift. It doesn't go crazy. It would feel genre appropriate, but it would also give you another, so make your choruses stand out a little bit more, and that would feel great. One thing in particular I liked was when you move the lyrically on the bridges. That's when you guys like really explored some different areas, and you used a lot more, kind of fleshed out some vocabulary a little bit in the feelings of the song. That those lyrically I loved. One thing that I give for some feedback is on some of the earlier verses, you kind of hit the whole theme of fall and got back up again a little bit too much, so that way when we lyrically hit those things on the chorus, it didn't sound as special. So it's kind of it's kind of a writer's tactic, very much so, to withhold some things, even though that's totally what the song's about and it totally fit. But that way you make things feel special by taking them away in those other sections. So that way when you're in your chorus, it steps up nice and big, where you're like, oh yeah, we fall down, we get back up. And then lastly, this is kind of more a production picky thing. But I think it would help the track land a little bit better, which is because you guys have all these like fun little like I landed on my ass, aw, which I was like that's hilarious. I loved it. One thing that would be kind of make it sit in the track a little bit better is maybe turn that down, pan it off to the left or the right a little bit, or something that you could do, a tactic that I'll use all the time if I want something to be there but not be super prominent, is I will split the difference. So instead of going hard 50, I go 25. So that way the listener is like, it's then like little ear candy that they're like, wait a second, what did someone just say aw? And it's instead of it coming out and smacking you with the humor, it's more of like that kind of fun little hidden thing. And you can do that with either that panning movement, or you could do something with like a different style vocal production for those little spoken parts, like a radio voice or something like that. So that way your ear, when you hear it, it's like, oh, that's different than the lead vocal. What's that? And your ear perks up to it and goes looking for it. But that way it doesn't get in the way of like the nice, like big and warm lead vocal that you have. So it's a way that you can cause separation with your vocals that will still, yeah, everything gets heard nice and well, but that way everything's got like its own spot for it. So that way it pops out like fun little candy or fun little flavors in a, you know, a food or something. But overall, enjoy the track, guys.
Yeah, those were a lot of the separation ideas that I was hoping to implement at the last minute. And
yeah, if time allows.
Well, it got to 6 a.m. this morning, and I was like, if I don't get to sleep, I'm not going to get up in time for tonight. And those were things that were like on the to-do list, especially the panning. That was one that I really wanted to put some time into and didn't get enough of it.
And it's funny that you mentioned the guitar, because we actually talked about a steel guitar. We talked about, I was like, everything could use cowbell and country, right? We also talked about a triangle, you know, just something to kind of put in there as well. So definitely great advice. Thank you so much, Glass.
Yes,
absolutely.
Appreciate
it. Great feedback.
All right. Rusty, Tony, scram.
Go this way.
Take the show back over.
Walk away.
I'm not want it. I'll exit.
All right. Can I have Maria and Matt? And I don't know if Cal came in, but I think those are the only two that are here in the house tonight. Can I have you guys pop on in? We're going to be going ahead and looking at a hip hop track here, Matt. Ah,
Hip-hop,
there's Cal.
all right.
Heck
Hello.
yeah.
Hi, Cal.
Hello.
Hey, Maria. Hi. I'm feeling really good about this.
Maria, would you like to start and tell a little bit about 7 days left?
Well, it all started with a track that Cal made. If, if, I may say with a vacuum cleaner. And yes, he told me and Matt that he was making the track with a vacuum cleaner, and it sounded very good, very, very nice. And then they added their vocals, and I did the intro. They write the intro. I just did the vocals, the chorus also with Matt, and I put the bass, and that's all was all I made. Matt and Cal did almost everything, but it was fantastic. Their work was incredible. I loved it. I loved the result of the song, and I hope everybody likes it. I hope Glass Garden likes it. And well, that's all.
Glass, with this special 5th round, we have two beautiful WAG alumni in here. Maria Perdona is the winter season champion of the What's the Genre Showdown. And we have MattJH here as well. He was in the last season as well, coming back to compete in this 5th round for this 10th anniversary. And we have Cal, our own comedian / upside a hurt master here, who has gone through just about every single genre here and just flew through this season as well, amazingly. Yes. Cal, you want to go ahead and give us a little bit of on this 7 days left?
Yeah. So I started out, I made a track in like one night, and I sent it to Matt, and we worked on the beat together, and then Maria brought in the bass, and then last minute we asked Maria to do the intro for it, and I think it's dope, and yeah, I'm feeling really good about it.
And Matt's hiding there in the shadows. He's preparing for Halloween here this October.
I was gonna
Matt,
say, I was like, that's also like on brand with your profile pic, and I was like, my gosh, like he's always on brand. Like that's awesome.
No, it came together well so far. It came really organically. We started off with Cal doing his thing, and put everything together. And I was really looking forward to some gangster rap, and I think we made it. So, yeah.
All right, are you ready, Glass? Let's go ahead.
I am. Let's hear it.
All right. We've got 7 days left opening these lyrics as well. And here we go.
In this dark world, you live by the bull, die by the moon. We are all pinpoints of light shining through a target. You come a star, and maybe, just maybe, you won't get murdered.
Upset, time down, nothing left. I feel the pressure in my lungs, in my body stand, try to inhale as my brain fails to remember what I even did. Last thought through my mind, 7 days left, not yet. Lose right behind breath, like a bullet left a barrel and its feet. Seconds about to waste down through the cage, shot till I'm cold dead. Last moment, collect my mind, 7 days left.
Sensations, pay attention, no escaping what you're making makes sense, right? Behind me, there's a guy, looks like he's hiding a 9mm in his pants on his left side. I know I'm just guessing, but it don't feel right.
I'm dead, but nothing's stopping me yet. I feel the lead hit my jacket, but that fall dead. Hear the Glock sound, all clicks now as I watch for that blooming red. Eyes wide, realize 7 days left.
Shit too. Got my own 9mm, now I'm fucking with you. 7-day chill, not a big deal, ready to kill. Round spent clean, not a droplet, just a tear from my eye, know what's next. I could turn a cheek, but I won't back down yet. All bark, all bite, put it all to rest. Close eyes, left behind, 7 days left. 7 days spent, but it won't end, no pretend. Won't rest, so you cry and you're shot dead.
Seven days left. Oh, yeah.
All right.
Glass Garden, you may have the floor.
Matt, you were saying that you're like, I want some gangster rap, and I think yeah, you did. Like shoot, like the whole like gunshots, the whole, even the hook, Maria, that you guys put together, for the chorus, that really felt appropriate. That felt that made me think of like early 2000s, late 90s rap, and that was awesome. So one thing, especially Maria, for because English isn't your first language, is that correct?
It's my second language.
Yeah, it's your second. You did great, honestly. So that's killer. I have done some songs in Spanish, and it is so brutal. So hats off to you there. And then Matt, I know that you're not
Thanks.
you're not not by default going into a lot of rap. So one of the things I like that you did was that you picked a couple of key rhythms that you went back to and kind of reasserted, like you kind of made your verses into like their own hook, so that way instantly I started to remember them and I knew what to expect. That's one of the things that a lot of people don't really realize, is that repetition is often strongly associated with beauty. So it's one of the reasons what makes something catchy. So as far as especially like kind of going into something that you're not like, that's not your default style all the time, you did a solid job there. And then Cal, clearly you were comfortable. Yeah, you were very comfortable with doing this, and that was obvious. So as far as some like constructive criticism, some feedback, one thing that the two big things that are kind of more overall mixed things, as far as lyrically, you guys hit the themes well, all that. I don't have an enormous amount of feedback, but on the mix, I would one, I want you if for this kind of track, I would have loved to have felt some 808s bring me into that chorus from time to time. Like some sort of like, now one thing I know, we're streaming audio here, so maybe there's some low end that is getting shaved off from what I'm hearing. So I'll give you guys a pass on that one. But but yeah, I would have loved to have felt that a little bit more in the choruses, or especially like, Cal, and I think is that that second verse that you did, and the second the B side of it, where you picked up your pace from that kind of slower lyrical line that you had first. I would have loved something to hit me right in the face right then and being like, oh yeah, let's go, because that's what that verse, second verse you did, felt like. And that's kind of another thing, was kind of something that could have helped a little bit with the pacing and the dynamics of the song. It's a phrase that I like, which is mixed with the mute button. You guys have lots of good tracks in there. That's not the problem. The problem is that sometimes is that you have all these tracks running and a little bit too often and too consistently. So that way it doesn't give the individual track pieces and layers times and moments to shine. And it's also a way, especially in these kinds of situations where you don't have time, where it's like, all right, we've got our stack of, maybe 6 to 8 layers of tracks. Okay, that's what we've got now. Like, pick a verse and say like, all right, these 3 tracks are gone, and that way it's a little bit more empty, and it's something that when they come back and you use them in other parts of the song, that they feel more fresh and new. And so that's one thing that would kind of help with this song a little bit. Take some stuff away at times. And then another one, and this is just something picky, is that Cal, I loved in that second verse that you did, you totally went with a different vocal flow, much more slower paced, to kind of really have some separation from everything else going on, and kind of show off a little bit more, some versatility in your skill set. I would have loved to have heard that in maybe either a different vocal sound, or like some sort of different vocal production, that whether that be kind of hollowed out, whether that be bigger, whatever the case. But that way, when you get back to your standard vocal sound, when you pick up the rhythm on the B side, that way it's another thing that could kind of like push that momentum a bit forward. But overall, guys, yeah, like I said, gangster rap, I felt it. Nice job.
Thank you.
You guys have anything you'd like to go ahead and say back to class?
Think I'm good.
Yeah. Excellent feedback. Excellent feedback. Thank you guys so much. All right. We're going to go ahead. We're going to call Daurian in here. I don't think Dmane's in here tonight. If he is.
He said he just texted me and said he couldn't make it.
Okay. Matt, we're taking a journey into ska.
Oh, I do. It's really funny. Just the other day, I was actually listening to Sublime. I haven't for years, and I was like, oh man, this was a good album.
Yeah, we had fun with it. It's we picked the idea we were going with, and vocally, that's where we had our problems. We just couldn't hit the pocket on the vocals, but we had fun making it. That and a lot of times, if you look at a lot of ska musicians, they try to have fun making their music. So that's
Oh
what we
yeah.
did. Yeah.
No, ska guys do not take themselves seriously, and that's one of the
Mm.
best parts about them.
Well, we're going to go ahead and listen to Driftwood Dreams.
I met her down by the shoreline, selling shells in half lost time. Said her heart was not for free. Said her vibe was like the sea. So we drift like wood on the tide, floating free, not a care in the world. You can't own the sea, you just go with the breeze. In a world full of lies, we just driftwood dreams. Yeah, she spoke like a soul dance, with a voice like vintage wine. Told me about her no good father and the man she left behind. So we drift like wood on the tide, floating free, not a care in the world. You can't own the sea, you just go with the breeze. In a world full of lies, we just driftwood dreams. So we drift like wood on the tide, floating free, not a care in the world. You can't own the sea, you just go with the breeze. In a world full of lies, we just driftwood dreams.
All right,
guys. Okay. So I was expecting a lot more like vocal problems based off of what you were describing, and I did not hear anywhere near to the level that you were talking about. Um, so yeah, as far as them not being absolutely perfectly lined up, yeah, that was there. Now, as far as have I heard, in other places on BandLab, more out of sync vocals, absolutely by a long shot. You're not far off. Part of it is I think you've got you know you know what a perfectly synced vocal is, and you can hear that in your head, and you're like, I can't quite get there, and it drives you nuts. I believe me, that is my life. And so one thing in particular is that this mix to me is one of the most complete mixes that I've heard so far this evening, because the low end was there, nice and present. I loved it. The high end of the cymbals and the vocals, like, it was all there. So, and it was, I really like that. You should be proud of that. So some constructive criticism that would be helpful for this particular song. The bass, it actually took me a couple of seconds, but I was like, I gotta, get my head in that genre. One thing about ska, J bass. J basses do not have a sharp high end like that. And as much as like you've got a little bit of an idea of what kind of stuff I do. Oh man, I love me like a freaking um 5 string with some heavy distortion and like bright top end bass. I love that. So it actually took me that's what that thing's designed to do. Took me a couple seconds to be like, oh yeah, actually for this genre, that's not appropriate. You should what would have been helpful to fit what your goal was is to roll off, do a low pass filter, take off that top end, and only hear a little bit of the little bit of the pluck of the string, just a little bit, almost like almost make it feel more like a nylon pluck, less of a metallic pluck. And that would have helped if you fit the genre there. The bass sounded good, but it was it just wasn't quite genre appropriate. Now, one thing that I have to say is the vocal sound was money. That was exactly what that song needed. Well done there. Now, one of the things that like I said, we're talking about the layering isn't bad. This is something that something that's always good to know when you don't have some like good, oh my gosh, what was it? It's not, well, Melodyne is one of the tools that can really fix everything. But Vocal Align is that it's something that what it does is it will use software to make the top ends of consonants all like mushed together with software. When you don't have something like that, something that you can do as a little trick, one as a performer, is so when you're doing, like, for instance, a lower vocal, like what you were doing, a low octave on right underneath his high octave, is don't pronounce the consonants that much at all. Just make sure that you get the right timing of the consonants, but barely pronounce them. So that would sound like something like this. So it's very weird to sing like that. But what that does is it makes it so that way, what you can't make up for, like like especially with this situation, you had limited time. You can't practice a whole bunch of. That's one way that you can kind of fudge that. And then the other thing would be just once again take a low pass filter, roll off that high end, so that way that sparkly 4K to 6K ish range, you take that down a little bit, and then suddenly all of those little things that were coming through a little bit more, like I said, not terrible, but they're coming through, suddenly they start going away. So that would have been a very quick, easy fix that would have helped a little bit. And then one thing, love that you hit the seaside theme so hard, but I didn't feel like I heard the same analogies. Like for instance, I've spent a lot of time doing church worship music, and that's one thing that they are obsessed with, their water analogies. And I didn't feel like I heard the same 3 over and over again, so good job there. But one thing is that I think could have been done. Actually, this was more on the bridge. That's right. That was this note. Is that I was starting to hear some sort of bridge chord progression where you were going to use a flat 7. I feel like I heard that in the first half, and then you bailed out with the bass later on. And I was like, oh, come on, man. Like, no, that flat 7 was super cool. And it would have been, and so I'm not sure what happened there. I don't know if it was like, oh, this sounds really cool. Oh, no, I'm nervous about it. That's a little bit of a risk, because it is a risk. I get that. But no, your ear is good, man. Lead into it, because like I said, yeah, the mix was very complete. You hit that C theme hard. The vocal sound was right. This was ska. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Whew. Thank you, Daurian. All right. Are you good? Because we're going to be moving on to pop next.
Oh yeah. I love me some pop.
All right. Well, if Austin's still here and Christine, sweet. TweedleDum was not able to make it in tonight. But go ahead, Austin. Tell us a little bit about your pop track here.
Yeah, it is moody, and it is it's everything. I asked myself, what would Ryan Tedder do? And then
That's a good question.
And then I said, what would DJ Tatius do to mess up everything Ryan Tedder would do? And I went with DJ Tatius because it felt like the right thing at the time. So but I will say that putting together the track and then having Christine and Tweedle jump on, they both mentioned that they're yes, after I triple check with Jesus, they both mentioned, oh, hey, there you are. You can take over from here. I was going to say, they mentioned they were vocalists, and I'm like, great, go for it. But then, Christine, what do you think?
No, I wasn't sure how to do pop. I always have trouble defining it, and so I was like, well, what will happen? So, but then I heard the track that you made and the stuff that Tweedle had done before, and I was just like, oh, I know exactly where to go with this. So, yeah, it was really exciting. It being a really good experience. I think once I heard your track, I was like, oh, I get it now.
That's probably the highest praise I can get. So, Glass Garden, you're not necessary anymore. Anyway, there you go.
We're going to go ahead and check out their track now. I know you wanted a love song, but you got a, what is this? I blew it up here. Let me see if I can unblow it up here. But you got a confession. All right. Well, let's go ahead and check it out.
You may just not get your love song. You may just not get your love song. I know you wanted a love song, but somehow it felt wrong. And we knew it from the start. I really didn't mean to
right, Glass, you may have the floor.
All right, so I've that was kind of so for those of you who don't know, me and DJ Tayshias grew up together, and we both send each other songs all the time, working on stuff. So I know him and his style and his skill sets incredibly well. So it's kind of interesting considering like Tweedle, I know some of his stuff, but Christina, I don't really know yours. So it's kind of interesting seeing it all go together. But knowing that DJ was largely responsible for the track, you straight up surprised me with that move coming out of that second verse and then going into this more like Coldplay journey thing. That's not Ryan Tedder. Like I said, that was Coldplay. So, and then also you did not do the super traditional, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, thing that a pop song usually does, which is that's a departure for you. So it was a fun thing to see. Um, so yeah, it is kind of interesting how you guys chose instead of like just more like traditional like pop happy clappy. You're like, no, we're gonna pop ballad, and which totally I'm totally into because like for instance, lover or hater, Taylor Swift, the streaming numbers are nuts, and she's kind of defining pop a lot right now. And I've been listening to a bit of that album. This kind of would fit in that sort of vein. So even though it's not what people would expect, to me, it was still on the money as far as genre pick. Um, one thing several choices that were really good. One, Tweedle having a different vocal sound right down the middle. It's almost got a little bit of like a radio crackly like harshness to it. And then having DJ, your vocals way pound out hard left and right with that kind of like vocoder thing. That was some great separation, and so it made it very clear of like, what am I listening to here? What am I listening to here? And it was very straightforward. And then and then also with Christine, her vocal sound, everyone had their own place, which really worked vocally. Now to some constructive criticism. DJ's not going to be surprised by this at all because I tell him this almost on every single one of his tracks that he sends me, which is I want that low end on that bass to be bigger on the chorus. I want it to feel like this big warm, like for the size of the track to get bigger. Because yeah, clearly it was in the track and it's not like it was gone. By any means, but it was just one of those things that it would have leveled up and moved the song along dynamically. And yeah, like I said, you've heard me say that exact thing a couple of times. One thing that I want to say that Christine, on that verse too, you kind of surprised me in how you were starting out in that, and that was a fun, fresh surprise of like, oh, you kind of like came at it with a little bit more like a rap style. If I'm picking everything up right, remembering everything right, my notes are right. One thing though that I would give you some feedback on and say and push you a little bit on, and maybe this was a time thing because remember we have short turnaround on these, is that the all of a sudden the jump into the na 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 la la la's, I was instantly like we were telling a story, like I was there right with you, and it felt like all of a sudden I got left. So if that's a time thing, I totally understand. But if that was a creative decision, I would say maybe focus to finish your thought first before moving on, because the concept of the la 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 oohs and all that fit nicely with what you bookend at the very beginning of the song, backing up Tweedle. So theoretically, it would have worked, but you always want to finish your thought before. You don't want to leave something too incomplete, because if you do when it comes to songwriting, it can make it so that way the listener it can surprise the listener in not the kind of way that you want. But like I said, those were the couple of things that and then as far as with Tweedle, since I haven't picked on him, and he's a good dude. One thing I would have liked to have heard a little bit more from him would have been a little bit more punchy and succinct on his vocal performance of like, really hitting his timings a bit more solidly, because he can do it. I know he can. It's just one of the things that's, because the track was a little bit more airy and ethereal, especially with what Christine was doing in the background with those oohs, you can't have two things that are a little bit loosey-goosey with beat. You can really only have one, because once you get two things that are a little bit fuzzy and the listener doesn't know what is happening here, they can start to be like, they can start to get confused. And it's not like I'm in this ethereal place. It's not an Imogen Heap thing. It becomes like more of a confused, like, I don't know what's happening. So those would be kind of the constructive criticisms, the feedback. But like I said, I like the track. I like the layering. The vocal placements were good. Good job, guys.
Yes. Tejas, would you like to say anything back to class?
Yeah, I actually had the bass so bumping, like so hard, and I was playing it in my car, and I'm like, this is rattling my car. And I turned it down more, and then I was like, Matt would not approve. So I turned it down even more. And I was like, yeah, it is where I want it. Yeah, this sounds right to me. So nice. I'm glad you picked on that one. But Christina and Tweedle were awesome to work with. They let me do my thing, and we definitely wanted to go with something that, as Rollo has mentioned a couple of times as the judge in this contest, we actually wanted to go with something that kind of pushed the genre, even though we knew that the more creative you get with the genre, the more you might risk falling outside of the genre. But we decided to go there. Just a lot of fun, a lot of auto-tune, a lot of good time. So thanks. Appreciate your feedback, sir.
Oh, come on. You've heard way worse from me. But like I said, and as far as kind of how you guys push the genre pick, I felt it was totally appropriate. That's why I mentioned Taylor Swift, is because I'm like, yeah, like this kind of vibe would have fit in on that album. So no, and also, like, I know Tweedles, he's a very creative person, and he'll do some out of the box stuff. So as far as like how crazy you guys could have gotten, you could have gotten way crazier. It could have been outside of genre or pushed it too far. No, I thought what you guys did totally fit.
Confession, he did get way crazier, and I actually chopped up his vocal and deleted about half of it and moved it around to create an arrangement. So
you know that I believe.
That's my confession.
I've done the same thing. So no hate. Like I said.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead, and we're going to get into a cowboy jingle now.
A cowboy jingle? As in, like, when we say jingle, are we talking like jingle all the way with, like, sleigh bells? Or are we talking jingle as in something that we need to remember to sell a product?
We're going to find out.
Oh, gosh.
Yes. Nilla, will you come on in here? I don't know if Jeremy and RJS are here, but if you guys are, yeah. And I don't think they are tonight. Okay. Nilla, you want to go ahead and tell us about this jingle? Inquiring glasses want to know.
Jingle, basically, it's a jingle for the BandLab app. Is basically what it is.
Okay,
and it's a country. It's a country style. And RJ, had did the guitars and the mastering, and oh shoots, I done forgot the other guy's name. Oh my God, he's gonna kill me. I'll never work with him. Yeah, Jeremy. And Jeremy, he did the vocals. I did the vocals. So we both did vocals, and Jeremy did backup vocals. So it's basically talking about the BandLab app, jingle type thing, but in country music.
All right, fair enough. Sounds cool.
All right. Now, I did notice there was no lyrics in here. So we are going to go ahead and check out this track now, but just giving you a heads up. Here is the jingle.
Hey, Labbers, it's BandLab.
hear that next here. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Jeremy and Nilla.
All right, so the one thing I would say to kind of like kick this thing off is, the mixing would kind of cause some problems in the song because, like the lyrics that I could make out, especially like for that first section, I liked, they were fun. Like I could hear like the pitching, like the whole like. We like no drama queens, like all like Charlie Sheen's, like all like that stuff that I was able to hear on the back half. Like it was a lot of fun, but it's just kind of a bummer that because that first vocal just didn't have the EQing help. And so something like with this, what I would give to kind of give some feedback to help it out would be, especially when you keep a song something simple like this, just like drums, 2 guitars, call it good. Pan them left and right, and that way you don't have to like do much for EQing. You can kind of make them as big and as full as they want to be, but that way less stuff sits in the center, so that way your vocal that sits in the center can be heard nice and proud. But yeah, like I said, like the lyrics. The lyrics were fun as far as like, oh yeah, we're pitching Band Lab, and like that's like the sales pitch. And I think Jeremy, your vocal was the second one that came up, and that was the one that felt like that was like placed right, so I could hear everything. I know what you guys are saying. So it's one of those ones that I think the mix could use some work in order to make it so all of the fun parts of the song could be more heard.
Fair.
Now, Jer, I know you had just popped in, so you weren't here before we started the track. Is there anything you'd like to say about your track that you did with this collaboration?
We just wanted to have fun with this, and it's the second time we got a country type song on the WAG, so I was a little over it. But and I don't know if anybody knows. Well, I know somebody knows, but like the Charlie Sheen reference is because on 2.5 Men, his job is actually a jingle writer, so that's why.
Oh, totally. Yeah, you're right. I completely spaced that. Yeah, like that. No, that's why I was like, oh, like I wanted to like really like dive more into those lyrics. But yeah, that's a hilarious little like Easter egg. I love it.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's all. I just had a blast doing all this and making some good songs with some new people.
Thank you guys so much. All right, we're gonna go ahead now. Glass, we're jumping to Latin.
Latin.
Yep.
Oh, okay, we're moving around here, aren't we?
We are. That's what's a genre for you. This one is called Club Nights. Now, ConArtist and Tyrane are not here tonight. Mavi had dropped. He had some things going on. So we have this track here tonight that was sent in, and it's called Club Nights. There are no lyrics in here as well, but let's go ahead and jump over to some Latin.
As the sunset, you know where we go. To pop big bottles and we let the stress go. Plus the Stooties there, and you know what we do. I gotta make it clear, we don't do that drama shit. Plus my YNs, them some young Osamas. You play that tough game, no game, you beat the target. But we on that club thing, and the nights are electric. I spot a sexy queen. Call the bottle girl, we need another round. Fuck it, just bring the case. We on that turn up now. Ball on making bang, we really showing out. Club looking like a movie, paid in full of course. And almost lost my mind from a young fine through the coolest. Sipping and chilling. So when I stepped to her, the vibe was instant. And when they played bachata, I was all up in her. And from the face that she made, she want me in her. She said she had the after party just for the three of us. Didn't know she had a girl that want the rain touch. So you know I move suave on the pull up rain salute. On them club nights, we step out like we own them night. And in every club we step in, we buy out the bar for the night and flex boss on them.
Yeah, senorita, estoy cautivado, slow lento edimo, possess su hips, yeah, clothes drip quebrada, showing her equita, evocadora, como Shakira, screaming Caterino, te amo. She goes loca, locked and she's spellbound. I don't need to cater to her, shit, I'm a pimp. I don't even know the language, I'm just fucking mocking it. It's comedy, caught in the concoction of Con's consciousness. It's common sense, competence, he's gotten kinda slim, copping a feeling, watching a squeal, and I'm fucking mopping it and drowning in like so bitch, don't take offense. I'm not sending simply to simp, sipping citric acid sitting in a garbage pit. Just to fucking sniff my piss, I'm trying to see how far again. I'm karma sent a comment meant for collision. I'm causing incontinence on the clock for extinction. I'm just seeking acknowledgement. This is the consequence of comments, comic bits that are scripted. You're complicit, you're listening. The explicitness is the point. It's meant to knock out your senses. I'm sick of my inner critic crypting the sentiment to people don't get it and miss it. Then they act as if it's implicit. And how many languages do I have to state it, articulating the fact that I'm basically just fucking different? It's a coping mechanism, code to hopefully best the witches.
Club nights, we step out like we own the night. And in every club we step in, we buy out the bar for the night and flex boss on them.
Oh yes, senorita, soy Estevador. It's nice to meet you. I said my name is Conhor, and I don't mean to scare you. I'm just sort of awkward, so may I please come near you and grab you by the conio? I don't fucking know, ho. I'm not trying to run game. Matter of fact, fuck this. I'ma find my man Rain. Maybe we can count cards, get it, cause of his name. Fuck it, this is insane. Here, Ty, grab the mic. I'm not trying to entertain.
Back to my turn, we having fun in here. Cuando su culo se mueve, I'll be right there. No más noches solteras, cause I'm right there. No, baby, I ain't capping, I'm the king, Rain.
All right, Matt, you may have the floor.
Yeah, so this ConArtist was the second artist, and then what was the name of the first artist again?
Tyrain.
Tyrain. So one thing I'm gonna be picky here is that technically I wouldn't consider this Latin. This is reggaeton. Like this is like straightforward reggaeton. Now reggaeton is monstrously huge in Latin countries, so I can kind of get why they went in that direction. Yeah, Tyrain, one thing I really liked about Tyrain, he had a good, consistent flow. His vocal sound and production really fits this genre well. And I thought he did awesome. Like like the Machado reference, like that was super fun. And one thing that I would say, the track could use a little, as far as some constructive criticism, the track could use a little bit more variety to it to kind of, once again, make me excited for the hook, bring me into the next section. Because that's one of the things that I always like to tell people when it comes to music and songwriting is that every 30 seconds, you need to do something to re-engage your listener. And so if you've got the same flow and you've got the same dynamics and you're not doing something to grab some attention again, you're losing people, because let's be real, like everybody is like practicing being, distracted on this. And so if you're not re-engaging your listener every 30 seconds with some sort of either flow adjustment, song change, something like that, it's hard to really keep them for a long time. So some track adjustments and working up and down dynamics would help with that. Now Con's interesting. He's got some serious lyrical skill. Like I would kind of describe that as like raw talent, and I would love to see him actually hone it, because one of the things that he was doing is that he was phasing in and out of beat. Because he's got so many words that he wants to spit out, and it's super cool. This flow, like the pacing, the flows, and the word choice, like it was really good. But and because he's got some raw talent, I'm gonna be a bit more picky, and I'm gonna say, dumping the track was the move to not rework the lyrics and improve them, and to make them in time. It was just to say, I'm just gonna throw this down and go. Now, there is a time constraint element to these tracks, so it's like I do understand that. But from what I heard just there, I've never heard him before as an artist. He's got more talent than that. Like if he puts in some effort, he could be insanely good. because I can just hear the raw potential with that dude. But and I've said this. Shoot, I think I made a video about this just a couple of weeks ago. Raw talent. I've met probably over a dozen musicians that had monstrous raw talent, way more than me, and they never did anything with it. Even when they had ideas, even when they had connections, even when they but you've got to work your craft, and that dude could work his craft and be incredible. So especially I want to hear what he does when he works his craft. Now, and then one of the and then as far as one of the lyrical picky things was that it did seem like he was just kind of randomly throwing in the Spanish words that he knew but he didn't, because of his lyrical prowess, he could have found a clever way to make them make sense. Not necessarily weave them all in, but just because it sounds like he's this kind of guy, make fun of himself of just I'm just saying the Spanish words that I know and weave that in. He's got that kind of skill, so that's what I would like to see. Overall, though, as far as a reggaeton track, it was pretty dang good. Yeah, I enjoyed it overall.
ConArtist is absolutely amazing. We met him this year for the first time. We also did an interview with him with his album as well. His lyric skills are amazing. His pace, he's just been a pleasure to watch this season.
Absolutely.
All right.
So who do we got next, Angie?
Oh man, we're going to R&B. This is the final track for the night. We've got Rollo Knox and Super Maha. I believe Rollo's here. Rollo was a judge here on the What's the Genre Showdown this summer season. And
Cool.
We have turned you out, and there's an explicit content notice on this one. Rollo, you want to go ahead and tell us about this project?
Sure. So we sort of went with an 80s R&B, specifically like a cameo type of sound is what we were going for. And Maha did all the guitars, and I kind of threw everything else together. And yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing it.
All right.
Here we go. This is R&B. Turn You Out. And I know this is Rollo, so there's lyrics.
Take it back to my
Oh yeah. Glass Garden, you may have the floor.
All right, yeah, that's good that you told me like 80s R&B because like that. Yes, that was right down the center. Like I like the sound choices, the bass choices, like everything like about like your sound choices and production choices screamed it. And so it's like so when you said that like that was the perfect thing to tell me so I knew what you guys were intending because you nailed that feel. Um, and one of the things that like I said, I really liked was that keyboard part that just kind of drove the whole time. It is one of those funny things that I love some like super progressive, like kind of crazy arrangement
Right.
stuff and like crazy chord stuff. But for this time, for this genre, like they absolutely did that. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's one of those things where I do very much so pay attention to genre selection. And I'm like, yeah, even though personally Matt Glass is not like that, but like, no, that was the right choice for what you were trying to execute.
Right.
I even like the fact that the whole track had as far as mixing wise, had a little bit of a lo-fi feel. Is that you didn't have a lot of high-end content in your mix, which is once again for your target of that 80s R&B totally makes sense. So one thing, so a couple of things that I think for constructive criticism that I would like to hear. So this is one thing that I would say, even though it fit genre appropriate, because I do know some 80s like R&B stuff did this where they kind of had like the sound playing around and it was really more to be a dance section for the music video. Um, so even though that was one of those things where I'm like, even though yes that does work, I would have liked to have heard you because like all that vocal playing that you had like playing around with effects and how you were detuning things like
Right.
that was totally fun. I would have loved to have heard that more pepper throughout the whole song because you had a lot of good effects there. But I would have loved to I mentioned for feedback for a previous song, like you got to keep re-engaging your listener.
Right.
I think that would have been a wonderful way to do that because obviously you had some fun design, sound design stuff there. Pepper that all the way through because that way you can kind of jump into your sax solo a little bit sooner. Because like nothing says like 80s R&B like a cheesy
Right.
sax solo, and I was like,
Mhm.
it was good. One thing that I was kind of wishing for. Now this is. I think this would have leveled it up a little bit. Is like for when you get into more of your hook parts, you have this nice little kind of like on like a high end arpeggio like like that
Right.
that showed up here and there. I would have loved that to kind of like come in a bit more in your groove sections to kind of to show a little bit of differentiation
Right.
between your sections because even though we talked about how repetition is appropriate for your genre selection, it would have been nice and it would have kind of helped move the song along. um and then let's see here. Was I had one other note? Um. Oh yeah. Well, I guess like this is kind of one nitpicky thing is like the one thing I would have liked to have heard would have been a little bit more punchy and tight to the metronome on your vocals
Right.
execution. That would have been nice. Kind of. Was it was it the B-52s is who I'm thinking of where they are a bit more punchy on that.
Mhm.
I think that would have served the song, but once again, I always like especially for things that are come to performance and practicing. I that's one of the things that I tell everybody. Like if you listen to my end products, yeah, they sound squeaky freaking clean. That's because I've written them, rewritten them about 3 times, and then I practice them for a good couple of weeks, and then I do final vocals, and then I edit the living shit out of them. Like that's but you guys don't have time for that in this scenario, so it would have been nice. But overall, great job, man. I liked it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rollo, you have anything that you'd like to say? Being a judge on this summer season.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
mean
10th
it's
year
been fun.
anniversary.
I appreciate the opportunity, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rollo.
Yep.
All right, Matt, I have to ask, out of all the tracks that you've heard tonight, which one is taking the MVP spot?
Oh, the MVP. Now this one,
Yes.
this one's hard because I've got my favorites, and like I gotta say, the ska song that we had, I like, as far as the whole point of collaboration, we had a very clear, like, all right, we got the guy that's taking care of most of the track, we got the clear vocalist that had a lot of that stuff, and then the technical skill that was executed in that, that felt pretty good. I have to say that um, uh, our hip hop song tonight, that one like smacked it right in the face. Like that was just a like they went for gangster rap and they absolutely accomplished that. So and clearly like the collaboration on that, like that one was very good. And one of the other things was emotional impact, because like the way, like, I'm sorry, I can't do the whole voiceover thing. I don't do it very often. It's very rare. I have to feel something in my bones before I do a voiceover in a song. But the way that they executed that towards the end of, like, the whole like shootout at the end, I believed it. Like, and that's hard, and that's good emotional impact. And then let's see here, like who's the other? And then I will say I did enjoy our pop song. I like, between the arrangement kind of surprised me. It was, and then also I could hear, and one of the things when it comes to three collaborators, finding jobs for everybody and still finding a place for everyone to come forward, that's hard, and they found a really good way to do that. And also they did the pop thing, but they kind of made it their own, so they still nailed the genre, but that originality piece was kind of there. So those are like my three favorites right now.
You're all winners.
And yeah, I can't do, you know what,
We have the top three MVPs.
Those are the top
5.
three, but I'm gonna have to say, at the end of the day, I gotta give it to our ska song, Duran's Writing Desk, and I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but that one's my winner. As far as like technical ability, is nailed the genre right down the center. I like felt the whole, like, I'm in the ocean with that emotional impact. I really enjoyed it. Well done, guys.
Daurian, I know you popped in here in a minute and then you popped back out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done, everybody. Like I said, the whole turning a song around in just 2 weeks is hard, especially with new collaborators. So that's why I always was like, yeah, I would like this, but I kept trying to remind everybody, yeah, we all got, when you only got a short amount of time, there's you got to communicate really well. There's a lot of difficult things when it comes to doing that, but honestly, everybody, great job. I hope I gave some things that were helpful, so that way you can take those into your own projects and go into the future. Because I do like helping people get better at making music. Because I just love the fact that everyone can do it now. Like that's awesome. That's cool.
Oh, I thank you so much, Glass Garden. You have been incredible. You've given some excellent feedback tonight, and I really appreciate you doing this for us. Yes.
Absolutely. Happy to help.
Yes. Well, guys, this is the finals. Thanks again for joining us on the What's a Genre Showdown 2025 Summer Series.
Welcome to the What's a Genre Showdown. I'm Coco Bar.
I'm Rusty Wilkins. I am the creator of this crazy competition, and trust me, folks, you're in for a wild ride.
All heard it before. What's a genre? Let's get into a genre. Genre isn't a thing.
Well, we're putting that question to the test. We're going to do it with very few artists, unpredictable matchups, and at the end,
Are you ready to join?